Turn on classic rock radio and you'll hear it. Black Dog, Rock and Roll, When the Levee Breaks, and the classic Stairway to Heaven. Led Zeppelin IV is not only one of the highest selling albums in Led Zeppelin's catalog, but is also one of the highest selling rock albums of all time. What is it about this album that makes it so popular? Why did it resonate with listeners so well when it was released in 1971? And why does it continue to be played? And most importantly, is it really the best rock album of all time? To answer that question, let's take a look at one of the most popular tracks, Stairway to Heaven. This song has reached anthemic status, being one of the most requested in classic rock radio for 50 years. And this is a little strange, because it doesn't follow the basic structure of a rock and roll song at all. And when it begins, it doesn't even sound like rock music. Instead, we hear classical guitar and flute. We might expect to see Frodo walking in the background, or even Game of Thrones characters from its fantasy-esque sound. We get a minute of this setting the scene before the lyrics continue to further that fantasy image. We hear about some lady that we all know, described as trying to buy a stairway to heaven, but all the stores are closed. Although Led Zeppelin has done some folky stuff before, especially on their last album, Led Zeppelin III, this feels a little outside their wheelhouse. However, with the intriguing lyrics and the strange otherworldly guitar riff, it isn't off-putting. Instead, we are drawn in, curious to what the band will do next and where they plan to go on this 8-minute journey. Once we get about 2 minutes in, right about where Robert Plant sings about how it makes him wonder, something incredibly interesting happens. The acoustic guitar is replaced with an electric one. Now, I'll admit, this switch is pretty subtle. Some listeners may not even notice or be able to put it into words, but one may feel a little bit more engaged and present. The music is still sparse, just the guitar riff combining with the flute. But by the time Plant comes back to the chorus again, when he sings about wondering, we definitely notice how the guitar is louder. At about 4 minutes, the drums kick in. At this point, most listeners notice how the song is transforming, even if they can't put it into words. They may start nodding their head and tapping their foot as the music continually gains more presence. This time, Plant talks directly to us. Your head is humming and it won't go, in case you don't know. The piper is calling you to join him. Notice how we're not hearing about the lady anymore. He's talking to us. But what is he saying? Here's the trick. Led Zeppelin knows that this song is weird, that it doesn't quite feel just like them. But you've been patient, and it's about to pay off. Plant is saying, just hold on. If you wait a minute, you'll be rewarded for it. This is when the 12-string guitar swoops in, sounding almost like an angel arriving, reaching out her hand for you to take it. Will you? Even if you can't, you don't have a choice. Like Plant said, your head is humming and it won't go. If you stop the song, you'll still wonder what you missed. You have to follow to find out, right? Then, one of the most wild guitar solos of all time comes in. I still get chills every time I hear it. Even today. There are times when I even cry. I'm not being hyperbolic here. The amount of emotion and beauty in this guitar solo's simplicity is truly outstanding, and it has to be experienced to be believed. But here's the thing. If I played this solo by itself right now, it wouldn't have the same effect. Why is this? Led Zeppelin built up to this. The band slowly transformed this mellow acoustic song into a heavy rocker we all expect from them, building the tension until the time came to release a beautiful guitar solo. Music is all about tension and release. Stairway to Heaven makes you climb up it for 6 minutes before you get that release reward. And it doesn't end after the guitar solo either. We get the coolest head banging that Led Zeppelin has ever performed. The guitar has such presence, rollicking as the drums mimic it, and Plant sings wildly over this cacophony. His voice is so high that if you didn't build up to it, it would feel comical. You can't help yourself but move your head along with it. Every instrument is synchronized on that ba 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 beat. It ends with a final wail and a whispered line by Plant with perfect lyrics to resolve the song. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. But who bought the stairway? We all did. Because we all sat through this 8-minute song, giving it a chance, and it paid off. Led Zeppelin did some revolutionary things in this album, but most importantly, they took chances. They experimented. So the reason why this record is often regarded as one of the best, because every song is so different, but somehow every single one of them is consistently Led Zeppelin. Is this the best album of all time? I think that's a hard question to ask. Music is so subjective, but it is a very good album. A top 10 in many list. For me, in the rock genre, a top 20 for sure, and this is why. It's very difficult to make an album this cohesive that sounds just as good 50 years ago as it sounds today. You've heard half the songs already, but if you get the chance, sit down and listen to the whole thing, end to end. Led Zeppelin made it that way for a reason. And when you listen to it as a bunch of separated radio singles, you lose a bit of the magic. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I can't keep doing this without your help and support. Hope this helps. Love you all.